Now, go back to chapter 39 and watch what happens here. Chapter 39, pick it up at the second verse.
And the Lord was with Joseph.
Who was with Joseph? Although Joseph was present in his brethren, in his siblings' sight, in his father's sight, in his mother's sight, there is someone else present. The Bible acknowledges someone else is present. And someone else who is present is also doing what? Passing judgment. But their passing judgment, this other person, this other being that's present is passing judgment with careful thought. And who is this other being? It is the Lord. So the Bible acknowledges that the Lord is there also. The Lord is with Joseph. Does Joseph see the Lord? No. What Joseph sees is that he's been sold into slavery in Egypt. That's what he sees. He doesn't see the Lord with him. But Joseph remembered what the Lord did what? Showed him. He never forgot what the Lord showed him in the dream.
And his master saw the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand.
The Lord did what? So look at what happened. The people that got Joseph in Egypt saw that the Lord was with Joseph in the way that Joseph lived. That's how they saw it. They saw it through Joseph, his values, his ethics, and his character for life, how he was living from day to day. They saw it. And they saw that the Lord was with him. And they saw something else happening. They saw that everything he did was successful. He was just a successful guy. He won. He just won at everything. He was just good at whatever he did. Whatever he put his hands to, it was positive. It turned out to be a good thing. He was just a winner. He was somebody who succeeded all the time. Not one time, all the time. Consistently succeeding. And that's what the Bible said. He was succeeding so much, it caused people who did not know about him to know that he is a person that wins. He is a person that achieves good results. That's what the Bible just told us. The master saw that the Lord was with him. The master saw what kind of results that Joseph was achieving at work. Don't people see what kind of results individual employees achieve in the classroom? Don't teachers see what kind of individual results a child produces or a student produces? The Bible said he saw that the Lord was with him, and he saw that he produced high quality results consistently. High quality results. He can be relied upon for high quality results. Not like other people. He just saw this unique characteristic about Joseph. So what did he decide to do? Continue reading.
And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him. And he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had. He put him into his hand.
So look at what happened. What happened with Joseph? When it was saw that he was good at what he did, he got promoted. He got promoted, didn't he? He got promoted for being good at what he did. And the Lord fixed it where other people saw that he was good at what he did. And the Lord made him have so much favor with man that he made mankind who had the ability, remember, his master had the ability to pass judgment, didn't he? Had the power, his master, as we talked about earlier, had been appointed a designated position of authority and had the power to be a judge over Joseph. So his master made a decision and promoted him because he figured if he gives him more control over his stuff, what did his master figure would happen? What did he conclude would happen if he gave him more control? That his stuff, he'll be more successful than he had been. So in his master's mind, that's just a good business decision. He ain't got nothing to lose. Same thing happens today in the world.
And makes him look good.
It makes him look good. So whether it is a supervisor, whether it's a manager, whether it's a director, whether it's a vice president, whether it's a CEO, whether it's a business owner, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a coach, people who they know that can deliver, they're going to look to those people, understand that this is the value that Joseph brought to the table. Joseph didn't ask this man for this. This is what they saw that Joseph could do. So what they did is put Joseph in a position for Joseph to do what? To add this additional value. They promoted Joseph. Why? Because God, the righteous judge, is helping Joseph live. It's helping Joseph do the right things, say the right things, behave the right way through his values, ethics, and character. So his living this way caused him to be promoted. So in spite of the problems that got him there, you remember the problems that got him there, right? Who else is with Joseph that cannot be seen? We just learned? God is.
If he was willing, when the brothers were trying to decide to kill him, Reuben said, "No, don't kill him.
Don't kill him. Mm-hmm.
Don't kill him."
Mm-hmm.
But if he hadn't said that,
if he hadn't said it, they would have.
God had intervened for Reuben to not kill him. The rest of them was like, "Oh, we can kill him."
Yeah. Did something that they would regret. But Reuben said, "Let's not kill him."
That's not it.
So, who behind the scenes is lining up the right breaks and opportunities for Joseph without Joseph's knowledge? It's God. It's the Lord God Jehovah who is with him. Although nobody sees him, the Lord God Jehovah who is with Joseph is lining up the right breaks and opportunities for Joseph behind the scenes. Everybody say with me, the Lord is promoting me.
The Lord is promoting me.
This is how the Lord promotes you. He lines up the right breaks and opportunities for you. Joseph didn't know this was going down. But when Joseph was given an opportunity, what did Joseph do? Continue reading.
And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake.
Listen to what the Bible says. The Bible says from the time that he made the decision to give him that promotion, who blessed the Egyptian's house? The Lord did. Did the Egyptian know that this is what was happening? No. All the Egyptian knew is that, you know what? I got this guy. He's doing these things, and everything just seems to be working out amazingly for our good. That's all I know. But what the Bible is saying, the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house because of Joseph, which means that everything that Joseph did, he put his hands to, every task that he thought to do every day, the Lord made it succeed. And it did phenomenally positive things, working behind the scenes. Continue, please.
The blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field.
So the Bible says the blessings of the Lord was upon everything that he had. The blessings of the Lord. So that means we know that right now, in man's eyes, who has been given the authority to judge in this example? Who was given the authority to judge in the eyes of man? Being the judge, to form an opinion about someone or something after careful thought. Who formed an opinion after careful thought? Here. The master did.
He saw that Joseph had something special, and he gave the Lord credit. He believed that the Lord was helping him. So he acknowledged that there was different.
There's something different about him.
The Lord got to be with him.
Yeah. He acknowledged the Lord got to be with him. So he said, you know what? I'm going to make him over. I'm going to promote him and give him more responsibility because my household needs it. Since everything he touches seems to work out good, I'm going to give him more. See how their ethics, values, and character affected the judgments with Joseph? You see how it changed and made things better. Drop down to the 20th verse and read. You can read that at your leisure for homework. Drop down to the 20th verse and read for me, please.
And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in prison, but the Lord was with Joseph.
Okay.
And mercy.
So, go ahead.
And he showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison.
So the Bible declares unto us, Joseph, he's back in prison. What happened? When you read that passage, you will find that someone else made a judgment. Someone else saw Joseph, and they passed judgment on Joseph. Because Joseph didn't share their ethics and their values and their character, they lied on Joseph, and Joseph got put into prison again. And that someone was the master's wife. The master's wife asked Joseph to lie with her. And Joseph chose not to because he was trying to do that which was pleasing in the sight of God. And because he would not accept her values and her ethics, her judgment, she judged that Joseph should do this. Joseph judged that he should not do this. And because he did not do this, she lied on him and caused him to get put into prison. But the Bible still declared unto us, although he's in prison, look what happens. Continue to read.
And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. And whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it.
So what does the Bible tell you then about the keeper of the prison? He gave him control. Now what's the odds of that? You're in prison, and the keeper of the prison said, you know what, this guy is sharp. I'm going to give him control over these things for me. And when he made that judgment with Joseph, how did the things go in prison? The things went well. It made his job easier. So what I'm trying to get you to see is how behind the scenes the Lord is working, is lining up right breaks and opportunities for Joseph as a sign that the Lord is with Joseph. Because Joseph has chosen to rely upon the Lord, has chosen to trust in the Lord. So in spite of the problems that he encounters, the Lord is still behind the scenes lining up the right breaks and opportunities for him. The Lord is still promoting him. Go to chapter 41. Chapter 41, let me have someone read verse 25.
And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. In the 7 good times of 7 years, in the 7 good years of 7 years, the dream is one. In the 7 times and ill,
the 7th sin,
the 7th sin and ill favor kind that came up after them for 7 years, and the 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, but it shall be very grievous. For that the dream was doubled with Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass.
So he's saying this dream that you had twice is the Lord establishing that this is going to happen soon. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses is every word of God established. So that's what Joseph is telling the Pharaoh. She's saying the Lord showed it to you twice so that you will know this is certainly to come to pass. And by the way, it's going to come to pass very soon. Continue.
Now therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7th plentiful year.
Okay, listen to what he's saying to him. So after he gave the interpretation, what did Joseph continue to do?
Give him instructions on what to do. Give him a plan.
He gave him a plan, didn't he? Because the first thing Pharaoh probably thinks is, well, how am I going to do this? So Joseph, in addition to giving him what God meant, Joseph is now doing what is called today consulting. Have you heard that word being used before? Businesses come into other businesses, firms come into other businesses to consult with them about particular problems. Well, this is what Joseph is doing. He is consulting with Pharaoh. And by the way, the consultation that he's given, could anybody else in Egypt give him that consultation?
At this point, no.
No, nobody else knew.
This is the Lord that's giving him the information.
Exactly. Does anybody see the Lord?
No.
No. But the Lord is with him, and so the Lord is giving him these thoughts. The Lord is revealing these thoughts. And what do we learn? Judge means think, determine, decide. One who makes judgments, one who makes a decision by a person, having authority to act on behalf of a business, and usually marked by reasonableness and the exercise of due care. Does it sound like what Joseph is giving, the advice that Joseph is giving Pharaoh? Is he exercising due care in giving him how this actually can be done? Does it sound like it's thought out? Does it sound like it makes sense? Yeah, it does. And the thing about it is that Joseph does not know this, but Pharaoh hadn't heard anybody speak like that before. Of all the counselors that he hadn't heard anybody speak like this before about this kind of a matter. Joseph is just speaking. He's just speaking the truth. He doesn't know how it's falling on the people. He doesn't know how it's making Pharaoh feel. He doesn't know how it's making the other people around them be in awe of what he is saying or doing. He doesn't know any of that. All he knows is that he's speaking what? Truth. He's speaking what God has given him the wisdom and knowledge to see how to do it. Continue reading.
And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the city. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the things of good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants.
Listen to what the Bible says. Now, who is Joseph? Understand where they brought him from. So who is Joseph? Where was Joseph residing before he was brought before Pharaoh? He was in prison. You remember he was put in prison, right? He was a prisoner. And why was he in prison? Because Potiphar's wife lied on him. And so they put him in prison. So this is a prisoner standing before Pharaoh, giving him these kind of business insights about how to run Egypt for the next 14 plus years.
Well, he found out about it because of the baker's brother.
Exactly.
That worked for Pharaoh.
And worked for Pharaoh.
And they had a dream, and they could understand their dream, and then Joseph interpreted their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And after they got out of prison, they went back to work for Pharaoh. They're like, oh, wait a minute. We know somebody that can interpret it because he's in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He interpreted a dream we had, and Pharaoh said, of course, go get it.
Go get it, because nobody else is saying nothing that makes sense to me.
Well, yeah, go get it.
Go get it.
Help me.
Mm-hmm. Go get it. And they went and got it. Now, who's working behind the scenes, lining up this right break and this opportunity for Joseph? God is. Joseph didn't have anything to do with this. The Lord created this new thing. He did this new thing on this new day, and Joseph ended up in front of Pharaoh. All he knows is that he's in front of Pharaoh talking. But is he shy about it? No. He's just telling them the truth. And then he gave them a straw man plan for how you can get it done. Now, he didn't say, Pharaoh, I can do this for you. He didn't say that at all. He said, this is what you should do. You should seek out somebody. He didn't say it was him, did he?
No.
That's why Pharaoh was so impressed with him. Pharaoh said, he didn't say I can do it. He just said, this is what you should do if you want to get through this. He gave you the plan, but he didn't say, if you get me out of prison, I'll do this for you. He didn't negotiate any of this. He just said, this is how I think you can solve this problem. Now watch this.
And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
Look at that.
Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you.
Pause there for a moment. Think about what he just said. He didn't even give Joseph the opportunity to not accept. He just said, you're not going to be in prison anymore.
And you're going to be my number 2 man.
You're going to be my number 2. And everybody else, they're under you. Now, just imagine how they felt. You remember his sibling? You remember his sibling? But just imagine how everybody else, what just happened? What just happened?
What about our job?
What about our job? But they know not to open their mouth because they know they might not even have a place. They know that they all have just been what? Demoted. And who has just been what? Promoted. Joseph. God gave him favor in the eyes of the right people. That's what I want you to see. God gives his children who rely on him favor in the eyes of the right people. And that's exactly what happened here. All he did is spoke the truth. And then Pharaoh he'd even say, think about this. Go and think about this. He said, no. You're not going to dwell in prison. I need you to do this. And he gave him whatever he needs. And whatever you need, you don't have to ask me because I'm giving you everything. You are second to me. And all of what I have is at your disposal to make this happen. And why did Pharaoh do this? Because Pharaoh knew that made sense with what he saw. Pharaoh knew that he could see how that could be a successful plan. Pharaoh knew that if I'm going to be successful, I need this person leading everybody else doing this stuff. That's God causing Joseph to be what? Promoted. Everybody say it again with me. The Lord is promoting me. The Lord is promoting me. Yeah.
Oh, praise be to God, from whom all blessings flow. It is our prayer at Clay Family Ministries that your life has been increased with the increase of God through this study. We appreciate and are thankful for your fellowship during this life skills study segment.